Hey guys, welcome back to Burnout's Hot Rod Shop. As you can see over my shoulder, I've not had time to fix anything up. I've been sorting through all of the hardware, consumables. I got a box right over here. It's all consumables. I've got brackets, I've got exhaust components, I've got stuff still in the package right here. I got tools. This is all the stuff that over the winter, whenever I'd say there's hardware, we won't get into that. I got to get into that, get it out of my way. It is filling up the hot rod shop. So today, I took a step in addressing that. Like I say, I was doing this, so I was sorting all this stuff, so I didn't really have time to do a true fix it up. I did a couple of Williams wrenches. I'll show you those real quick. I cleaned them, blued them, but I just wanted to knock those out. So instead, I decided to work on this and buy some more stuff to fix it. Seems counterintuitive that I would buy more stuff because I have too much stuff. Well, hopefully you'll understand what I'm talking about here. So whenever you guys see this, I'll actually be on my way home. This is a Saturday before it'll air. And I'm spending all this coming week on the road at a client. So again, don't really have time to do a fix it up, but figured I'd do some sorting, get some stuff out of the way. So let me show you what I got. So if you see all this mess behind me, those are cabinets. Got more stuff to try to organize the stuff I have. We'll look at them real quick. This whole lot I got from one of the auctioneers I buy a lot of stuff from. I've got probably $40 worth of stuff for my wife, and I think the auction total was like right around $95 with fees and all that stuff. But I use my credit card for business travel. I use my credit card to pay for auctions, and then pay them off right away. Don't rotate debt on credit. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. But if you can use a credit card to earn points, I think this was $96, and I had $84 credit, so I paid $12 for everything we're gonna look at today. Real money, $12. Not too bad. So let's take a peek at this stuff. That guy looks scared to be here. He doesn't know what we're gonna do. We've jammed him full of stuff. I just turned this on and saw that face. I had to laugh. Hope you guys do too. So this cabinet was full of spray cans, spray paint, engine gunk. Most of them were half full or better. I think the scared guy has most of the things that were almost empty. Unfortunately, they don't let you leave that stuff behind. They don't want to take care of it any more than I do. So this cabinet, like I say, it was full of spray cans of stuff. This, I figure, will be a spray paint cabinet again. It's got this sticker in it. But not a bad cabinet. I think the total for it, and there's a green one next to it, was $12, $17 maybe. Can't remember if I got it at $12.50 or $17.50. It was on one side or the other of that $15 bid. We got more spray cans of stuff, more welding rod than I'll probably ever use. We've got this cabinet. I've kind of got it pinched in here. It's a cold steel cabinet. I think it has either 3 or 4 shelves in it. They're empty, so I won't open it up for you. You see this bag of stuff. This wooden toolbox was a $5 auction lot. I think it was $15 for this toolbox, that pipe wrench, and they're both full of stuff. This one, I'll open it up real quick. I love the thrush sticker. So it looks like it's mostly plumbing fittings, hardware, more hardware, that kind of stuff. Yeah, same thing down here. But stuff that can be cleaned up and cataloged. These gauges are kind of cool. Yeah, that's definitely a cool gauge. Brass. That'll sell for more than the $12, I'm guessing. Not seeing a maker right offhand, but when I clean the toolbox up, I might be able to see one. More welding rod, more paint stuff. This box is a heavy box. It's heavier than the green cabinet we just looked at. It looks like it has a few tools in it. This was inside the green box with the 3 or 4 shelves on it. Or green cabinet with 3 or 4 shelves. Looks like maybe a perfect handle monkey wrench. I'll pull the tools out of there and put them with the toolboxes so I can show you what's in there. This was the cabinet that had me looking at cabinets at this auction. I've been wanting one of these for a while. Every time I see them on Marketplace and stuff, people want anywhere from $200 to $500 for these type cabinets, and there's no way I'm paying that. I paid $17.50 for this one. These were actually all empty drawers, I think. I didn't open every one of them, but every one that I grabbed was empty. That will help me store a lot of hardware and be able to sort it and know what the heck it is. This box, we will go through it separately, or it'll be part of this video. But I'll pull it aside. But I will show you, it is a Dunlop box. It has some sockets. We'll see what those are. The auction listing, you couldn't tell. You could just see some sockets. And it's old enough, it's a leather handle. So with that, I'm gonna get over to get this box, the tools out of that box, any tools I find in this box, we'll get them over to the workstation I built a couple weeks ago and start going through them and see what all's in there. So like I said earlier, I did clean up and blue some Williams stuff. This C-clamp, if you saw that a couple weeks ago in one of my tool haul videos, actually it might have been the one from this Tuesday. It was part of a split lot where I went to some flea markets, and then on Sunday I went and saw George. These Mayhew punches, the old school 1914 to whatever it was, 22 or whatever logo. We've got a number one engineer's wrench, a number 2 with the old school logo, a number 2 with the more modern logo, and a number 3. We've got that 727 special, if you saw that, sitting next to another 727 and a third 727, but the one is a special. So I did clean those up, but I didn't film it because I just wanted to get it done because I knew I was going to be traveling. So I'll get these out of the way, and we will look at what's in the Dunlop box and the other box. Okay, so this is the stuff that was in the heavy gray box and in the box that was mostly plumbing. We'll do the Dunlop box by itself. It looked like it was starting to have quite a few things in it. So start off with these church keys. The first one is a Pabst Blue Ribbon, a PBR. And then this one is a Schmitz of Philadelphia. Those are kind of cool. Next, we got this Hyde putty knife. It's a nice older one, fairly heavy. And these are the 2 brass gauges. This one is a 60 PSI. And they are USG. It's the brand. Definitely cool with the little iron cross and stuff on it. And this one looks like the same type of gauge, but a higher pressure. It's a 160. You've got this big beast rigid, 24-inch. It turns okay. It may get a light cleanup and get sold. I've got probably enough pipe wrenches to last me forever. It does have a slight curve to it here. Then we've got this draw knife. This is kind of cool. You can see here on the handles, I think you can unscrew this. It's probably kind of rusty. And then adjust the angle of the handles. And it does have a name and a patent on it. So we'll start off the patent, and then we'll come over here to the name. And let me see if I can see that. Something Manufacturing Company. It's really hard to tell what it says under there. Maybe one of you guys know something about this draw knife. I thought it was kind of cool. It is a little bit tweaked on this handle, but nothing if you've got a good press. You can probably get that tweak out of it. Next is this chisel. Couldn't find any naming on it, but it does have a number 3. And it is sharp. For the fact that this edge is not in the greatest of shape, it's still pretty sharp. And we've got this knife here. It says slicer on the sheath. And if we flip it over, looks like it's in pretty good shape. And we can see that it's a Robinson USA. Don't know much about Robinson cutlery, but they were at least proud of it enough to put their name on it. Now we've got this 6-inch perfect handle style monkey wrench. It wants to turn. That does turn a little bit. So I think a little oil and this will work out just fine. Yeah, you can see it wasn't wanting to turn before I went on camera. Apparently I wanted to show off for you guys. It's got a little rust in there, nothing major. Handle doesn't look too bad, a little crack, a little wood putty will fix that. Same with that one. So I don't think this one necessarily has to come all the way apart. I don't know if I'll take it all the way apart or not. We'll see. Didn't see any naming on it as well. But maybe as I get cleaning, I'll find something. Maybe not. I've got this screwdriver with the red end on the handle. It reminds me of a Dunlop. It does have some sort of a round logo, but it's way too deteriorated to see what it is. I use my magnifier and stuff, and I could not get there. But it does say, let me find where it starts. There. It does say made in USA. Like I say, with the red tip and stuff, that almost says Dunlop to me. It's a number 2 Phillips. It's in pretty good shape. Now we've got this Mac Sabina. Actually, the other one may be a number 1. This may be a number 2 Phillips. Sorry. Handle and everything is still in really good shape. It just needs a good cleanup, maybe a restain. That'll be a nice Mac screwdriver. This one I did clean a little bit because I had so much crust on it I couldn't read the number. But it is a Stanley 100 Plus, and it's the 1006, made in USA. I like these older Stanley 100s with the flare out on the shaft here. I just always think those are cool. So I'll give it just a quick cleanup because this was so rusty you couldn't see the condition of the tip or anything. You can see it's kind of pitted, but honestly doesn't even look like it needs reprofiled. Maybe just a touch off on the 1x30, and that would clean up well. And then finally was this hammer. I cleaned up both sides. Didn't see any markings anywhere, so this may just be a homemade one. But it's got a stacked leather handle. I think this one will be a fun project at some point. I'll probably keep this one for myself and have a little fun with it. So I will get this stuff out of the way, and I'll grab the Dunlop box, well, everything out of the Dunlop box, and I'll get it up here so we can go through it. Okay, so this is what's in the Dunlop box. I just wanted to show you guys all this yellow rust that's on it. And everything in here is coated with this recent water rust. So I'm going to take all this stuff to the wire wheel, see if I can get sockets out of sockets, all this kind of stuff. One thing I will tell you is I'm seeing a lot of that. Craftsman BE. So I'm going to get this cleaned up real quick, and we'll come back and I'll show you what all we've got here. I want to see what the brands are on some of these wrenches. I can tell you this one's a Rigid. This one is a Companion China. With these others, got red handle, green handle, but I'm not 100% sure. So let me get this stuff cleaned up. Let me take it to the wire wheel, and then we'll come back and I'll show you exactly what we got. I'll be back in like 2 seconds for you and probably an hour for me. All right, we're back, all cleaned up, ready to go. So I think the stuff that we saw in there was either a crystallized cosmoline or a crystallized grease, and then rust that had moisture gotten underneath that cosmoline or grease and had set in. So some of the pieces were a little rustier than I was hoping, but all in all, at least they're cleaned up. First up, this one I didn't clean up too much. It's just a battery terminal clamp. It does have something right in there, I think, but I couldn't tell what it was. This thing is pretty destroyed. It's probably just going to disappear. And we've got this 10-inch Stillson wrench. It didn't have a company name on it, but it does say West Germany, so I thought that was cool. This one is another 10-inch. And this one, it's a little bit harder to see. But that one says West Germany as well. Maybe it just says Germany. You can probably see it better than me. So I thought that was cool. We've got, as I showed you before, the Companion China. The Rigid 14-inch pipe wrench. And this one I was able to clean it up. And it's a Merit 18-inch Stillson wrench. This was some sort of pump. It's not making a good seal. I did hit it with the number 7 polishing compound just to see what kind of condition the brass was in. It doesn't look too bad. And then the star of the show, all this stuff over here. Nearly everything you see here is Craftsman BE. So we'll start off here. We've got the 3/8 Craftsman BE spinner. This one, yeah, there it is. Had to find it. The Craftsman BE is right there. So this is what happened with some of the pieces, I think with water getting underneath the grease or cosmoline or whatever it was. This is another one that got pretty beat up. 1/2-inch drive extension. A little shorter 1/2-inch drive BE extension. This is an interesting little quarter drive box. You can probably see right there, it is Craftsman blue. And you can find a picture of this on Alloy Artifacts. I have not seen a set come up for sale. The only picture I was able to find was the one on Alloy Artifacts. It's supposed to have 2 of these set screws here and one here. And the way this works is you put all the quarter drive sockets here, then right on top of them, you put the little breaker bar. And then in the space above that is where the Tommy bar is supposed to go. The Tommy bar is what goes into the handle on the breaker bar. So I did not see a Tommy bar in there. This screw, I think, is pretty frozen up, so this thing's going to have to go in some Evapor rust. See if we can get that out, see if we can get all the rust off of it, and then put a fresh coat of blue paint on it. Probably the cleanest piece that came out of that whole box is this little quarter drive breaker bar, Craftsman BE. The wire wheel knocked pretty much everything off. It is frozen up on the head, but I'm guessing a little oil in there and I can get that freed up. There was this quarter drive double bar, which makes me think at some point there was a quarter drive ratchet that took the insert anvil. As we go through the quarter drive set, we've got everything from 7/16 down to 7/32. Plus we have the 1/4" 8-point. It's pretty beat up. And the 5/16 8-point, which is in better shape. So that's a complete set for the quarters. So we move into the 3/8. This was clipped inside of the tray on the toolbox. So this is meant to fit inside a toolbox tray. It's got this ledge and then this over J-hook to lock it in. And it was also in Craftsman blue. So I think this is also an original Craftsman piece, although I was not able to find this piece in particular. As we look at this set, we go from 3/4 and actually the way this set was set up is it had the 7/16. In the house, I had a 3/8, so I put that in with it, and it is a BE. The one piece that's not correct in here is we've got a 9/16 Flying V. So my guess would be either the gentleman who owned this broke his original BE 9/16 and took it back to a Sears store, or maybe he lost it and just stopped in and picked up another. And there was also another 9/16 Flying V in here, as well as an extra 7/32. There's a Flying V. We get into the 1/2 inch, and we have everything from 1 1/8 down to 7/16. So that's a complete set. I will need to find an appropriate BE 9/16. I looked inside. That's why I found the 3/8. I did not have a 9/16 and a BE. And then we have the complete quarter drive set. And then this I did see in the auction, but you couldn't see it well. The picture that it showed, it was sitting in the background in the toolbox about like this, and you could just see, I don't know, that much of it or so. So you could just tell that there were probably 3 screw heads here, and you could see the anvil and this side, and it was all that crusty yellow, orangish rust with the Cosmoline or grease or whatever. So you couldn't tell that it was a Craftsman BE. It looked like it was either going to be a BE or the New Britain or the Husky. It is locked up tight. Probably when we finish filming, I'm going to take a screwdriver and take this apart, clean this out, because this wants to move, but I think we're locked up in here, so it won't allow it. So that, I think, $17 box had a ton of awesome BE stuff. And then this is something I've never seen before. It's also locked up tight. And I first looked at it, thought it was just one of those little made in Taiwan ratchets until I cleaned it up. And it's a Miller's Falls. I didn't know that Miller's Falls made little quarter drive ratchets like this. So I'm not sure who made it for them. I mean, it could be a New Britain or something that was made for them. The switch turns. So this one may get a little penetrating oil on it or something too, to see if I can free it up. But I think that $17 box turned out to be really nice. A lot of good stuff. So that's this Friday episode, guys. What do you think? You think I did good? I was really kind of looking for those cabinets more than anything else so that I could use them. And I looked through the lots. There were 2 other or 3 other lots with tools, and they went for probably another $10 more, $15 more than I paid for this one. And one was a red box with Husky USA stuff in it. The other one, I think, had a Billings, part of a Billings socket, so it was at least a Billings box. There was a Craftsman Flying V socket in there as well. A little crooked here, so let's try to twist that up. There. Now I'm not quite as crooked. But they had a close-up of a Craftsman Flying V in the Billings box, and it looked like it was obviously missing some pieces, so I wasn't going to bid that one up either. But coming out of this with all this BE stuff, I was more than happy. I really just thought it was going to be this guy, and I actually was looking for a Circle H. I've got the Husky version of the Circle H, but I don't have the Craftsman, and I've got some Circle H socket sets. But I was like, well, that would go with them at least, even if it's a New Britain or something. It'd look cool. But lo and behold, it's all this BE stuff, and I really didn't have much BE. I think 3 or 4 sockets. That's it. There might have an extension. I might have a spinner. I have to check my spinners. But not a whole lot of BE. Actually, I find a lot more Circle H when it comes to the New Britain Craftsman stuff. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to have to hit the road. I will be gone for the week. But by the time you guys see this, I'll be back the next day, and I'll be at Jacktown. So hopefully some of you guys are coming to Jacktown. I look forward to seeing you. I know there's a couple guys that we've talked about meeting up there. So I know George from You Want to Watch is planning on being there. I know that James from Bigfoot's Cave is planning on being there. I know that Scout Crafter is going to be there. I think 357 Magdad and I have said something about it. So, and I know there's going to be a bunch of other YouTubers. A lot of the YouTubers get together in Jacktown, and Jacktown it's in Bangor, Pennsylvania, and it's only about 20 minutes from my house. So there's no way I can't go, right? So I'll be on the road. I'll come home Friday night, and then Saturday morning I'll be in Jacktown. You guys take care. Know that I'm burnt out. I love you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.